Alright, so just for some context for this video, this is my buddy Elliot, who I helped get started in entrepreneurship forever ago. He's an incredibly humble and talented guy. He now runs an agency that put in his pocket in profit about $14,000 or $15,000 last month. And so that just shows you sort of where he's at. He's 19 years old. He's just a little bit older than me. And he's a great friend of mine. We hang out all the time, and we sort of mastermind together and help each other with our businesses. So I really recommend that you watch this whole video because there's some serious wisdom. I apologize for the audio quality as well. We were actually in the car on the way to meet a client that we were going to share for our respective agencies. So without further ado, I will start the video with Elliot. Enjoy. All right, everybody, so I'm here with my buddy Elliot. We're off to see one of his agency clients. I'll be doing some consulting work for them for e-commerce and such. And it's gonna be a blast, really high ticket client. And so we figured this would be a good time to sort of look back on Elliot's journey and just share with you guys sort of how you can begin an agency like what he's built. He's going to be starting his personal brand here in a while, so you'll be seeing some content from him eventually, but for now he's keeping it on the down low, and I'm helping him move through that process later on. And I just want to introduce him to you. So, Elliot, want to introduce yourself?
What's up, guys? My name's Elliot Drake, and I have a marketing agency where we service a lot of really big brands. And I just started in social media marketing about 1.5 years ago, moving on 2 years now. And you know, last month was my biggest month. I'm not here to brag, but you know, it's a big milestone that like just recently I started being able to hit, and I got my start by working for a big company that allowed me to get experience working for big brands like the Golden State Warriors, Ashley Furniture, and you know, I got mentored by that CEO. And so now we fast forward to now I have my own marketing agency, and we're just doing a lot of really cool stuff in the social media space.
Yeah.
And so, like Trey said, I'm not building my brand right now because of the fact of I'm trying to get my business set and automated, because I feel like, just like that saying, if you chase 2 rabbits, you'll lose both.
Oh, yeah.
So I think it's important for people just to focus on, you know, developing a craft. And Trey, you talk about it a lot in your videos of how if you just find a valuable, if you have value in a trade or whatever it is to bring to the marketplace that you can get paid for,
yeah,
that's the most important part.
Totally.
So,
and Elliot's refined his offer to the point now where he's booking. Are you willing to share your revenue?
Yeah.
That's something you can do?
Yeah. So my agency is bringing in about $40,000 a month. That's what we're making as an agency. And last month I had my biggest month at close to $15,000 personally for 1 month, which is like a really big milestone for me. It's been a lot of hard work. You know, entrepreneurship isn't easy, but it's all worth it, you know, so it's been pretty awesome.
That's awesome, man. And go ahead and share like your story of like where you started, because I mean, we met like 1 year ago. I remember we went on a run like 1 year ago in my neighborhood, and he shared with me sort of where he come from, and now you get as personal as you want to, as broad as you want to, share what you're willing to share, you know?
Yeah, so my story is a little unique. So I grew up in a household having to deal with a parent that my dad was a drug addict, and sadly about 1 year ago he committed suicide due to that, you know, drug addiction. And so through growing up like that, it's built a burning desire within me to achieve success and, you know, make something for myself. And you know, my purpose in life is to achieve, like, through entrepreneurship and being successful, I can give back to people who also come from situations like that. You know, my agency is donating 10% of all of our profits to young entrepreneurs that have startups and like funding them. So I think entrepreneurship is really powerful because it has allowed me to, like, you know, have purpose in my life, because everyone in life is searching for purpose, and I've found mine through entrepreneurship.
That's awesome.
And I feel like a lot of kids do. So I think it's really cool to be able to give back. And then long term, I also am gonna start stuff for helping people in like recovery and stuff like that. I haven't had that worked out yet, but that's some of my
That's really neat.
That's some of my implants.
That's such a blast, man. I love that your heart's in the right place there. So go ahead and share as well, like, you share with me, like, right before we hopped in the car to get going here. I asked you, like, you know, what's your long term? You know, and you had a really good long term vision for what you're trying to build here.
Yeah.
And just sort of show people like what the front, like moving forward, what you want things to look like. Because I think that's a good vision for people to have of you.
Yeah. So my plan is to grow my agency to about $50,000 a month. I don't want to go over that right now because the bigger the agency gets, the more work you have. And so I'm trying to automate my business because I want to move to other verticals, because the key to true wealth is by having multiple income streams. So I'm building my agency up to 50,000, and then I'm going to build another small agency using white label platforms like Vendasta. Trey and I can make a video about Vendasta another time if you guys are really interested in that.
Stuff.
It's basically a platform where you can white label different services, and they can go in their platform, so you can completely automate your business. So my maid agency, we work with like big brands that pay like high ticket, brands, and the other agency that I use to white label through Vendasta will be for like, the mom and pop shops, people who can only afford to pay like $1,000 a month,
Yep.
For SEO, website development, whatever the service is. Vendasta offers a lot of that. If you guys don't know what white labeling is, it's essentially you sell the job and then someone else fulfills it,
Yeah.
and it looks like it's your agency.
Yep.
So that's what white labeling is.
So you hire workers to come in and actually fulfill the service delivery for you.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you just sell the service. You don't actually fulfill it.
Right,
Yeah.
and Vendasta is a way to do that at scale. Like my agency, I do that right now for like other things, but
It's very personal. You got people in place.
Yeah, I have people in place and like actual other teams I'm like, connected with. Like my agency mainly focuses on Facebook ads, but why not? I have connections of people who do websites. So if a client comes to me and needs a website done, why not contact and say, hey, yeah, I can do that for you, and then put them in touch with someone else, and then you take a little piece of that profit. So I'll sell a website deal and I'll take 10% to 20% of what they quote, just for sending them the job. So that's a way you can do some white labeling stuff too.
It's awesome. It's super powerful because you can scale as much as you like at that point, and it's not really on your shoulders. You just become a salesman. You become basically a relationship guy.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, I'm growing this main agency, which is called House of Influence, with all these big clients. So I have all those case studies and everything, and that's one stream of income. Getting the foundation set to where I can don't work in my business anymore, I work on it, and I can have more energy to focus on other streams, like a smaller scale agency with Vendasta, which is completely white labeled. And then from there, I'm building a social media marketing course, because it's honestly sad. There's so many social media marketing courses out there, but they really have gone through all of them, and they don't teach people really how to go from step one to like actually, growing your agency, which I think is completely screwed up. Plus they charge like $1,000 for it. So I'm going to come in there and disrupt that market. I'm actually working on it right now. And so I'm gonna build that, bring in a bunch of people for different modules to like really just teach a lot of stuff in there for people who are dedicated and willing to like put the work in.
It's awesome.
And then once I have that done, I'm gonna let people go through it, and then through their examples and seeing how they feel, the success they're able to see, and then I'll be able to tweak the course from there to really perfect it. Then I'll really open it up to the marketplace at scale, which will, even though I'm not going hard on building my brand right now, I think if you have a really good product, then it'll grow your brand naturally. So that's what I'm focusing on, is just building a good product for the marketplace, and that'll do the work for me. And so once I have that set in stone, then I'll start really hitting my brand pretty hard, offering a lot of free value out there on YouTube and everything. I post a lot of stuff on my my Facebook and my Instagram, so if you want to check me out there, you can see some stuff.
I'll link you in the description.
Right, cool.
There was a big thing that you said just then that I think needs said more often, especially in our space, and that's that a personal brand sort of naturally builds itself once you have something else. You know, so it's like, I see so many people trying to teach you how to have a personal brand and stuff, and I think you can like leverage just your knowledge, but it's so much better to leverage true success.
100%.
So like a personal brand is sort of like the cherry on top of an already successful businessman or woman.
And also, I think it's kind of screwed up now, because like people just think, oh, I'm gonna build a brand, and then just like try to make all my money from that brand. Like I think it's just screwed up, because like a lot of people will just build a brand and monetize that, and that's all the money they're having, and then they'll try to teach about drop shipping, or not like drop shipping, social media marketing, everything. You know what I mean? But they don't have like another business that they're doing on the side. They're really just making money from me from that.
Totally.
Which I don't think is right. I want to build a solid business that's making me consistent money, and then being able to teach from examples and teach from my previous success. And then if I make money from my personal brand on the side, then that's just a bonus.
Yep, totally.
You know what I mean?
I totally know what you mean. And so tell someone who maybe was in your position like a year ago, like the things, like let's give like a key few things. You give 4, 3, 2, however many you want. Just a key few things that they should focus on if they're wanting to get an agency to the point that you've gotten it. Right. And some of the things that not only you think beginners need to focus on, but that you are currently focusing on. You know, like just the true like laser focus on these things. Everything else sort of works out.
Right.
You know?
I think in today's age and like how everyone is just super flashy with everything and everyone wants to get rich quick, I think it's really hurting people. And you have to be able to put in the hard work for one, because entrepreneurship is hard and it takes a lot of like, you're gonna have ups and downs and lows, and it's about being able to push through that and practicing delayed gratification. So I put hard work as one, to build your craft and like find a trade, something you can bring to the marketplace so you're valuable. So that's hard work. And then number 2 would be practicing delayed gratification, because yeah, you might get lucky and you know make a couple $100,000 off something right away, but is that going to be scalable? You know, most of the time not. So you should be able to practice delayed gratification by putting in the hard work and everything, and just realize that with hard work will come success. And it will,
and can I throw a third on top of there too?
Yeah, go for it.
I mean, all of our conversations that we've had, I mean, he's been in town for how long? A couple weeks now or so?
Yeah, about a week and a half.
About a week and a half. And all of our conversations, whenever I ask him like, hey, what's the most valuable thing that you've got, right, is he goes back to relationships just about every time.
Yeah.
So like, I'd say the hard work, delayed gratification, and you know, making things about relationships.
Yeah.
You know, so I feel like so many people, they look at a business, and a great way to tell if like a business idea or an opportunity is a good one is it relational, and does it turn into good relationships if I execute on it well, you know? And so I think Elliot knows that really well, and he knows that to serve a client and build a relationship is better than to profit up front. Like he's got a client right now, you just showed me them, I'm not going to say who they are, but they're this huge personal brand in the fitness niche, right? And you're doing their work completely for free, and they're sending you a ton of clients.
Yeah, not completely for free, because but basically for free. What I'm doing is like we should charge a lot more.
Yeah.
Because I don't like to do things for free. Maybe if you're just starting
for super cheap though, right?
Yeah, for super cheap. But I feel like when you do things for free, then they don't value what your service is. So I always like to charge at least some.
Yeah.
But that's not to say, like, say you're just starting how to do social media and you really can't get clients because you don't have any case studies. Like, yeah, you might have to do a couple free things just so you can get some case studies up on your website and have some things to demonstrate, right?
Yeah, totally.
But I've been doing this for a long time, so I have those case studies and I have those leverage points to where I can go and like, hey, look, here's another big brand. We drove like, you know, a 30-to-1 ROAX. We can do it for you. They're like, bam, sign me up. What can I pay?
Right.
You know, and that just takes time. You're not just going to start right away and be able to do that.
And that goes back to the delayed gratification point. You know?
100%.
Yeah. And so like, I mean, I remember when you were getting started, I mean, you weren't making that much money back when you were getting started. You said it took you how many months? You said a certain number of months before you actually started seeing like green.
Honestly, I just started seeing like, I mean, I was making decent money. Like, you know, you can make decent money right off the bat.
Yeah.
As long as you're good at what you do.
Yeah.
But I've started seeing like, you know, really good money, six figures plus about 3 months ago.
Yeah. And I remember talking to you a year ago, you know, I don't think that was even in your head. It was like, you know, I'm just going to get really good at this thing and see what it turns into, you know, and now here you are. And so his focus was on perfecting his craft more than it was on making money. And so now here he is. The back end of that is that he ends up making a lot of money.
100%.
So it's just a huge, huge lesson that anybody can take away from Elliot. And I mean, Elliot's like a super humble dude. Like, I mean, you know, I met him like a year ago and he was just like this chill, laid back, like he's a total jokester, you know? And like you wouldn't think, you know, that he's like putting his head down and grinding and creating something bigger than himself. But here we are a year later, you know, and he's still the same dude, but he's got something that's way bigger than himself, and he's working on projects that are way bigger than him. And that's because he refined his craft and created an offer that's irresistible to people that need it, you know? And those are the two things that I think he really worked on, and now he's where he's at.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah, no worries. Where are we at in the video? How long?
We were at 14 minutes.
14 minutes? Okay, let's wrap it up then. I'm thinking, let's go ahead and like, for you guys, I think we'll do this. Go ahead and sum up like some of the key lessons having gone through this process, because not everybody in my audience is social media, you know, but they are entrepreneurs, you know, and at the end of the day, they are out to build a business. So like my input plus your input combined, let's sum up like some like key points here, you know, like for the total beginner, somebody who's making like zero revenue and just they know what they need to do, you know, but they just got to start. So what are you thinking?
I'd say what I'm gonna say key points are, so I'll just be like, find something that you're passionate about and you like doing, and then work really hard to get good at that. And then work hard to get good at that thing, and then practice delayed gratification. Because if you work and grind every day at what that craft is and you love doing it, you'll see the results in the end. Because if you just focus on getting quick money, you're gonna get burnt out and you're not gonna ever succeed on it, and then you're gonna move to the next thing.
That's a big thing, is quick money. That's the biggest thing that I give my audience to when I talk to them is, you know, you can either start running right now or build a car, and the guy who started running will be ahead of you for about a month after you finish building that car, and then you just fly past him, you know? So work on building your car more than working on running right now. You know what I'm saying? That means your offer, that means your craft, that means your team, that means your skill sets, and that's what Elliot's done. So that's the first thing, and I'm gonna add a second one in here as well. And that's the level of humility that is required to get to a point where Elliot's at. I mean, he's 19, right? He's a little bit older than me. And, you know, I mean, he's just the most humble dude on the planet from my perspective, you know? He says he struggles with ego and all these things, and I think everybody does it to some facet. But if you stay where you know you deserve, like, there's people out there that are doing hundreds of thousands of dollars in revenue that are blowing past this dude. And he knows that, you know? He doesn't think he's the thing. So important.
There's always going to be somebody who's ahead of you. So you just have to focus on yourself. And when we talk about one thing, relationships. Like, I was just really intentional about relationships, and relationships have allowed me to open the doors to a lot of these things, these deals that have allowed me to make money. So the relationships are key at the end of the day. Money's great. Money allows you to have some sort, like a piece of happiness, because it adds stability and comfort and all this stuff. But at the end of the day, you have to have relationships. You have to focus on relationships. That's why they say health, wealth, love, and happiness. There's like, you have to focus on your health too, because, you know, you can have all the money in the world and your health isn't good, right? So you have to focus on all pieces of your life.
That's a solid video, I think. It's good.
And then you'll have a wrap up.
I'll have a wrap up. Well, I'll just put this in there. It'll be super awkward.
Follow me on my social media.
Thanks for watching, you guys.
Hey, thanks, guys.
Sweet, man. Let's get